Da darf es natürlich nicht rübersteuern, die haben das natürlich nicht so gesichert, ja?
On this Himakånå hike with us today. My name is Andrea. I'm the guide that will be coming with you on the hike. And today we have a driver here, Petre.
Welcome.
Welcome. And he's going to be driving us to our destination and return. Okay, just before we start off, a couple of things about safety. It is a requirement by law to wear a safety just on the outside of Haugesund city. That it actually in the past have provided safety for the sailors over the years. And I see that your big cruise ship here is now docked, the only cruise ship that can come in here. And so we're going to be leaving, we'll be crossing over very shortly on a very large, a very high bridge, you might say, that connects us over to the town of Haugesund. Just passing by here, you'll see a lot of work going on here. Able, they're a big employer here. I mean, they even have accommodation over on the left-hand side because they have a lot of contract workers. Shipbuilding has been taken place here since the early 1900s. They used to make ships here. It's a big shipping maritime city. But of more recent times, and since the oil business started up, I don't know how much you know about the oil business in Norway, but since the 80s they have been working very much with the offshore industry. And at the moment they're working on some wind turbines, going to offshore wind turbines, which I think some of them are going over to Scotland. So they employ a lot of people over here, contract workers, as I say, who come from the UK, a lot of them, to work for some years over here. And we provide accommodation. They have a saying here in Haugesund: if Abel's doing well, Haugesund's doing well. I mean, that's how much money is brought in by the workers that come and live here. So anyway, our journey today is about just around an hour to get to the beginning of where we start, or the parking place anyway, and then we start our hike. So you're going to be enjoying a bit of countryside. We'll shortly be leaving Haugesund and going into the countryside to get to our starting destination. But a beautiful bridge here. It's got a sailing height of 22 meters, once described as a very elegant, one of the most elegant bridges in the whole of Norway, because it has a lovely curve on it. And you can see it's very high up here. And this is, of course, these bridges were all built, as you can look down left and right, to allow boats to pass underneath. So you can see it's, and you'll get a nice view looking down, both looking down into sort of downtown Haugesund. On the left-hand side, there's sort of restaurants and bars all along the harbour here. I don't know what time is on board. Is it when we get back? Oh, okay, so it's when we get back. You won't have a lot of time to look around, but we'll just have a little bit of a drive through the city now as we leave it. Claim to one of the longest shopping pedestrian shopping streets in the whole of Norway. It's 2 kilometers long. No, straight. 2 kilometers long, which is, I don't know, do you like miles? 1.2 miles, I believe. Are you mostly from, where's everybody from? The US? America. Most people? Anybody else?
Spain.
Spain. Oh, wow, welcome. But I'm afraid you won't have too many shopping opportunities today, so you'll just have to look, but it's not this street. So the street just coming up now, left and right in both directions, is the longest shopping street in the whole of Norway. Population of Haugesund is around 38,000 people. You can look left and right. People are out shopping now because shops open around 10 o'clock. It's one of these cities that has been developed on a sort of a grid system, because the city itself, honestly, it only got city status in 1854. Before that it was just a small you know, sailing and fishing. Keep going. Yep. So here. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Well, like on the way back over, we can go that way. Let's go. That's straight.
Yeah, so something like 12 roads running crossways parallel to the harbour, and 8 roads running down towards the harbour. And so the city started developing. After the because in early 1800, what happened here was the arrival of herring in the waters in this region, and people came to Haugesund to work in the herring trade. So this city sort of developed out in that way. And of course, originally the poorer people sort of lived around the harbour, but as you got wealthier, people moved out. And you'll see some of the houses out here quite a bit larger than those around the waterfront, which were very much for the workers back in the day. Now I have a map which I might pass around if anybody's interested to see where we're actually headed today. And it's nice to see a bit of sunshine. I've marked it in yellow, so we're sort of basically driving east out of Haugesund and heading over to nearly to a place called Nedstrand, but just before that is the parking area for Himakånå. If anybody wants to have a look and could pass it back. Later. So I don't know what you've read about the hike, Himakånå? Anybody know anything about it? You don't know anybody? But it basically translates to Himakånå means stay-at-home wife, basically. Yeah, it's an old Norwegian word, hima, meaning home, and Kånå is the word for wife in Norwegian. So it's all to do with a troll. I don't know how much he knows about the trolls as well. Know a lot about the trolls? Well, I've got a good troll story to tell about that, but I'll probably tell you that as we get a bit closer to where we're headed today. So an hour's drive, as I mentioned. The hike itself is it's a steep hike, is what I'm trying to say. It will take around an hour approximately, but we're given, with our time and our schedule today, we're given a sort of a good hour and a quarter to get up, usually, and then we're given half an hour sort of at the top, taking views and maybe snacks. Now, does everybody have water with them and a snack at the very least, or a little something to eat perhaps? If not, and you want to purchase something, when we are at the parking, there is actually a small supermarket there, so you can always go in there and pick up some snacks if you want to. Because I do imagine that by the time you get there, you might, feel like something. So the other thing about it is it's on the first part is you walk along the road for a while, and then you can actually look up and you can actually see where you're going to be hiking to. The height meters is commercial oil find. 23rd of December 1969, they called it Norway's biggest ever Christmas present with that discovery. The field, they called it Ekofisk, and it's just southwest out from Stavanger. And the oil industry really did start in 69 or early 70s, so it's kind of relatively new. We're talking 50 odd years, 56 years of an oil and gas industry, which has made Norway a very wealthy country. And along this west coast, places like Haugesund, Stavanger, Bergen, a lot of people do work in that energy sector. And if you're an offshore worker, Usually you work for 2 weeks offshore in those oil platforms, and then you have maybe up to a month off. So a lot of people actually, for example, out here, say they might have a small farm because you've got a month. You know, why not? If they've come from a farm originally and they have a small farm holding, they can come out and have that. So sort of like hobby farms, as we call them. But generally speaking, going back to farming, the farms here are quite small scale. We're not talking huge. I think if you have 24 milking cows, that's considered a good average size farm. But we do in this, basically in Norway generally anyway, there's only about 3% of the land is available for agriculture, and we have a lot of that in our region, the region of Rogaland. So everything that was produced here, things like potatoes and carrots. And
those bits there. So there's a couple of places where you can walk out and sort of have these great photos.
What is the story about the red houses close to the lake? Is there a matter with the color?
Yeah, the red colour, they're often boathouses. And the red colour is such a traditional Norwegian colour. I call it Norwegian red.
It is. It is so. It is. You know, because in the day it was the cheap sort of paint. You know, made up of mud and blood and other things, linseed oil and stuff like that. So the color was cheaper during.
It was cheap when these were built.
Okay.
But now, but people.
It really is just the road.
Pass by that. Let's just do this. Yeah. There's various degrees of up.
There's often a slightly lower. If you want on, if you go ahead and make
See it all taste?
it's all like this, mostly, until the end.
But it's not always as steep. This is a particularly little steep bit.
You can see where it's been raining, right? It's good for your bottoms, ladies.
And the glutes. Okay, beware of the pool. Oh, that's that's nice. Beware of might be a problem tonight, but Alright, that's it. That's at the end.
Yeah.
Uiuiui. Aber ich werde mich davon hinstellen. Ich will jetzt ein schönes Foto machen von mir. Achte auf mich.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh wait, that's too close. Okay, now, but all of you put your arms out.
La, la, la.
I'll get it. The rocks look painted.
You go. I'll go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great job.
Ja?
Willst du noch ein Anschlussbild?
Unglaublich. Mhm. Mir ist ja doof. Hast du von mir wirklich Fotos gemacht?
Ja, habe ich doch gemacht. Ich habe doch mit meiner gemacht.
Okay. Guck mal, wie ist deine Fotos gemacht?
Ja. Ja, super.